All right, no more distractions. This is the most important story out right now, and Elon Musk only reinforced its importance when he began banning people from his own platform in the middle of the night for trying to spread the truth about this very story. This dude talks a big game about free speech, about the town square, but the second someone tries to expose his actions, he begins to ban them and abuse his power. But here's the thing, we're not on X, we're not on Twitter, we're on YouTube right now, and I've got full reign to expose him as much as I want, so that's exactly what we're about to do. All that I ask is that you drop a like, make sure you subscribe, drop some blue hearts to help boost this video, and before we jump into this main story, I've got a side story that you guys will love. We got breaking news this morning. Ontario Premier Doug Ford announced Monday that the province is canceling its $100 million contract with Elon Musk's Starlink in response to Trump's new tariffs on Canada. And this is the way to go. You want to surgically target the people around Trump to inflict max pain on them. In the same way that when we sanction Russia, it's to hurt the oligarchs around Putin, this dude, or the Ontario Premier Doug Ford, wants to inflict max pain on Elon Musk, who is Trump's biggest donor, one of his largest allies, and who is currently dismantling the global order that has benefited America, Canada, and Mexico thus far, and dismantling the domestic institutions that help Americans on a day-to-day basis. Ford also declared a ban on all American companies from provincial contracts until the tariffs are removed. Quote, "We'll be ripping up the province's contract with Starlink. Ontario won't do business with people hell-bent on destroying our economy," Ford said. That is the way to go, and on to the main story of the day. So Elon Musk banned a few people on Twitter in the middle of the night for trying to talk about this, for trying to expose the names of the people involved, even though it's all public data. You know, it's kind of ironic. Elon Musk can get into the private data of civil servants, but when we try to expose something that is public, he calls it illegal. So let's just start here. The House Foreign Affairs Committee posted last night, DOGE's attempt to bulldoze its way into classified systems is part of a broader agenda to dismantle U.S. foreign aid and soft power. Broligarchs don't get an all-access pass to America's most sensitive info. Our security and global leadership are not for sale. And this is because DOGE officials began showing up, demanding entry in the middle of the night, getting access to sensitive documents, and somebody then proceeded to expose the names of the young dudes involved. Elon Musk has taken 19 to 22-year-olds from his other companies, given them mattresses in certain agencies, and now they're spending all day and all night getting into our personal data, the personal data of civil servants, and Elon Musk then bans the person. When it says this post violated the X rules, that means he banned the account. And Elon Musk says, "You have committed a crime." I'm sorry, but this dude may be the biggest gaslighter I've ever seen. Elon Musk tweets like 200 times a day, and I am not over-exaggerating when I say that he is gaslighting the American people in every single post. He'll lie about DEI, he'll then lie about FEMA, he'll then lie about USAID, all so shamelessly that it's hard for Republicans or people who are just casual observers of politics to figure out what's correct and what's not, because it's just a fire hose of lies. So Elon Musk began banning accounts, and that he said, "You have committed a crime." Well, the thing is, we have access to the broader story that this person, the banned person, was trying to cover, and I want to break it down right now because it's quite terrifying. Yesterday, we got an article titled, "The Young, Inexperienced Engineers Aiding Elon Musk's Government Takeover." Engineers between 19 and 24, most linked to Musk's companies, are playing a key role as he seizes control of federal infrastructure. This is a hostile takeover. It is a literal coup being executed by the richest man in the world as he gains access to our sensitive info, the sensitive information of civil servants. And just as a side note, Democrats need to be screaming this from the rooftops. They need to be holding daily pressers. They need to be making TikToks about it, making memes about it. Whatever they have to do to get the word out, they need to be doing that. Republicans would be doing it if the roles were reversed. Democrats lately are just uniquely absent or uniquely weak messengers. And if that pisses you off me saying that, then you haven't been paying attention, because Democrats need to step up and scream it from the rooftops. I feel like I've been putting in more work than some of our highest ranking officials lately. And of course, AOC is great. Raskin is great. There's a ton of great names out there, but I'm just saying broadly, the party needs to unite around this message because it's so easy to explain what's happening. So let's read this article. Elon Musk's takeover of federal government infrastructure is ongoing, and at the center of things is a coterie of engineers who are barely out of, and at least in one case, purportedly still in college. Most have connections to Musk, and at least two have connections to Musk's longtime associate Peter Thiel, a co-founder and chair of the analytics firm and government contractor Palantir, who has long expressed a clear opposition to democracy. Remember, Peter Thiel is openly opposed to the idea of democracy. Wired has identified 6 young men, all apparently between the ages of 19 and 24, according to public databases, their online presence and other records, who have little to no government experience and are now playing critical roles in Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency project, tasked by executive order with, quote, modernizing federal technology and software to maximize government efficiency. And here's the thing. We all want government efficiency. If we asked any liberal out there, any far-left person out there, do you want the government to be more efficient on a day-to-day basis, or do you want there to be a bunch of waste? Of course, we would all say we want it to be more efficient, but that is not what Elon Musk is trying to do. He's not trying to make it more efficient. He's trying to cut corners and cut regulations that allow his businesses to gain more wealth. He's trying to take direct actions to entrench his own power and wealth within the government. Now, here's the thing. The engineers are Akash Boba, Edward Korstein, Luke Fartar, Gautier Cole-Killian, David Kilger, and Ethan Chotrin. None have responded to requests for comment. All 6 men are a part of the broader project of Musk's allies assuming key government positions. Already, Musk's lackeys, including more senior staff from XAI, Tesla, and the Boring Company, have taken control of the OPM and the GSA, which is the Office of Personnel Management and the General Services Administration, and have gained access to the Treasury Department's payment system, potentially allowing him to access a vast range of sensitive information about tens of millions of citizens, businesses, and more. On Sunday, CNN reported that DOGE personnel attempted to improperly access classified information and security systems at the U.S. Agency for International Development, and that top USAID security officials who thwarted the attempt were subsequently put on leave. The Associated Press reported that DOGE personnel had indeed accessed classified material, and at the helm of this all is Elon Musk and a bunch of college students. And listen, I'm not putting people down for their age. I'm 22 years old. I'm young as hell, but I stick to things I know. If I was asked to be a part of a hostile government takeover in areas that I don't even know, I would be like, yo, we need to slow down. That is not my job at the moment. But Elon Musk is accessing our sensitive information and then banning people who call him out for that. Quote, what we're seeing is unprecedented in that you have these actors who are not really public officials gaining access to the most sensitive data in the government, says Don Moynihan, a professor of public policy at the University of Michigan. Quote, we really have very little eyes on what's going on. Congress has no ability to really intervene and monitor what's happening because these aren't really accountable public officials. So this feels like a hostile takeover of the machinery of governments by the richest man in the world. And the key point here is that these people weren't elected. They are unelected bureaucrats. They are the deep state in every sense of the term. And also, there's no way to hold them accountable. Nobody voted Elon Musk in, therefore we can't vote Elon Musk out. He is an unelected bureaucrat who has access to so much data. We don't quite know what his end goal is here. We can vaguely say he's going to try to enrich himself further, but there's got to be a broader goal he's working towards. But let's continue to read. Boba has attended UC Berkeley, where he was in the prestigious management, entrepreneurship, and technology program. This is one of the teens. According to a copy of his now deleted LinkedIn obtained by Wired, Boba was an investment engineering intern at the Bridgewater Associates hedge fund as of last spring and an intern at both Meta and Palantir. Then, Korstein, as Wired previously reported, appears to have recently graduated from high school and to be enrolled in Northeastern University. We've got recent high school graduates helping this government takeover. He spent a few months at Neuralink, Musk's brain-computer interface company. I'm going to keep going back to this point. Democrats need to be screaming about this. Quote, to the extent these individuals are exercising what would otherwise be relatively significant managerial control over 2 very large agencies that deal with complex topics, said Nick Bednar, a professor at University of Minnesota, Quote, it is very unlikely they have the expertise to understand either the law or the administrative needs that surround these agencies. And I keep talking about the consequences that are largely unintended of all of these actions. Or you can make a solid argument that these are the intended consequences, but when Trump froze federal grant funding about a week ago and the Medicaid portals immediately crashed, those are the consequences of Donald Trump's actions that people don't immediately think of. Or when he begins to fire the head of the TSA, fire people at the FAA, strip entire aviation safety committees, there are consequences of that. There are direct and immediate consequences of that. Sources tell Wired that all of these dudes, all of these young dudes, all currently have working GSA emails and A-suite level clearance at the GSA, which means they work out of the agency's top floor and have access to all physical spaces and IT systems, according to a source with knowledge of the GSA's clearance protocols. The source, who spoke to Wired on the condition of anonymity because they fear retaliation, says they worry that the new teams could bypass the regular security clearance protocols to access the agency's sensitive compartmented information facility, as the Trump admin has already granted temporary security clearances to unvetted people. Now, here's the thing. These dudes can push the extremes as far as they want, and what do we know? As long as it's in favor of Donald Trump, he will pardon them at the end of the day if they do anything illegal. If they hack into anybody's illegal information, which they already have, they will be granted clemency. Okay, so a few final points. If you're ever going to share one of my videos around to family and friends, to any federal workers you know, or just on your social media platforms, I think this is the video that you should share around, simply because this is a story that needs to be getting more attention. But a second takeaway, and I touched on this earlier, but Elon Musk can't be held accountable by voters, and also Congress has a very limited ability to monitor these actions because Musk's appointees aren't traditional government officials. They're just young dudes he plucked out of the local college, and the lack of oversight there poses serious risks to democratic governance. Also, number 3, the national security risks are insane. Reports indicate that DOGE personnel have attempted on multiple occasions to access classified information about USAID, which focuses on foreign aid, the Treasury Department, which focuses on sending payments out. This breaches a lot of standard protocols for handling sensitive government data, and there's a lot of vulnerability in our national security at this very moment. Also, unvetted personnel. You have 19-year-olds, 22-year-olds in our government. You guys remember a few years back, his name was Jack Texaria, and he leaked a bunch of government info because he was playing Minecraft in a server and was trying to impress his friends. Do you guys remember this dude? He got a huge amount of time in jail because he was just like a 19-year-old dude trying to flex. The point is, these 19 to 24-year-olds lack the government experience and credentials to be in such a significant position of authority, and I'll leave it at that. Make sure you drop a like, share this video around, drop some blue hearts. I love every one of you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.